buzzer. Leave Cyrus jumping. So grab your dress up, the game's ignite. I said, see the game's ignite. Bringing the fun that feels so right. It's fun that feels so right. Welcome to the showdown, it's time to ignite. With the lobe on the air, bringing you the fight. With the crowd roaring and the tension so thick. Get ready for highlights, every kick and flip. From the field to the crowd, be breaking it down. Tracking every move from the ace to the ground. But raise the sharp blades and start to impress. We are ultimate tour. From San Milan, no stress.
Hey, Coach Salo, you wanted to see me?
Yeah, hey, Devondre. It's great to finally meet you. How's the offseason been going?
It's been pretty good, just getting ready for OTAs, but, who's that?
That's my boy, Jermaine Johnson. We actually just traded for him with the Jets.
Oh, you traded with the Jets. Nice. So what'd you give up?
We actually made a player-for-player trade.
Oh, so you traded someone to the Jets. Well, man, I'm going to miss Jeffrey Simmons, but I know he's going to do great things over there in New Jersey.
No, Jeffrey Simmons is staying here because we actually traded you.
That's a good one, Coach. You're joking, right? Please tell me you're joking.
I'm very sorry, Devondre, but you just aren't a scheme fit here for the defense that I'm trying to run in Tennessee.
So you're sending me to the Jets?
I'm very sorry, Devondre.
That's all right. But thank you for everything, Coach.
Hey, my lord!
Hey, Coach Saul, you want to hate the Vikings?
Get set for the thrill. It's game time now. I will send you to the crowd. Let me show you how. Scores are dropping, wheels are turning, pace is high. We're rocking it.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to ROMA Sports. We go around America and the world and talk sports. I'm AK, your favorite guy. I am back this week with Gargi Navasa. We are in it tonight. We got a lot to talk about. You thought it was a slow week in sports, but it was not, because we found some gems for you. How you guys doing tonight?
Super awesome, bro. Thanks for asking. It's funny. You think the NFL season's over, and you got a little action. You got a little trade action going on. So it seems like the NFL never dies. We got MLB preseason baseball, spring training going on, injuries, teams getting into it a little bit in spring training with some little bit of beef going on there, and NBA at it as always with drama. Great to see you, Navas. What's going on?
Oh, every radio personality and their mother is talking the same thing in the NFL. Are the Raiders going to give up Max Crosby? Are they going to trade down, especially with the Cardinals? And which quarterback is going to go to the Vikings?
Heating up, man. Heating up. They're one of the few teams left with the question mark of we need a quarterback, because obviously we don't have faith in JJ McCarthy. So,
of course.
March 11th is the start of the NFL year, and you already know that Kirk Cousins is going to get cut. That's a guarantee.
man.
No, absolutely. Even though, do they think that their ravish lefty is going to help out that team much better? I mean, I guess we're going to find out. Not
Yeah. I mean, on this side of the turf, real quick before we get into it, I'm hearing talks that the Jets might actually reach out to Cousins, because they are just sick of the young quarterback that's in the free agent list. They're sick of even drafting a quarterback. They're sick of it. I mean, listen, Cousins in the Jets, it ain't going to work no matter where he goes. He just robs people. So
when your best seasons have been with Mark Sanchez since your championship season,
well, listen, we're going to find out about a great system that NFL has implemented that people think are bullshit. People think, they go by it and get disrespected by it or take it strong-armingly. So, listen, we got a lot of action going on.
I just want to find out where Derek Carr unretires to.
Man. He had a wild podcast with his brother about a year ago, I believe, hinting that he wanted to go to the Jets. I mean, I don't know what's going on.
Again, it's just the fact that Derek Carr made a stipulation that I want to go to a team that is Super Bowl ready. And that tells me either Aaron Rodgers is going to retire, which we know he isn't. There's still that just enough fumes in the gas tank to work with Mike McCarthy for one more year. So that tells me my money is going to go Derek Carr to the Vikings.
Ooh, I didn't even think of that. Well, I can tell you where our audience should go. That's right, riseofmiddleamerica.com. And you can follow me at the real Roma _AK, Gargi at Lemagrag, LEMAGRAG on X, Lord Navasa on X as well. You can go to the upper right-hand corner of the screen here, and that's where our socials are. And down at the bottom, we've got our merch site where you can help us out, make a monetary contribution to help us keep the lights on. We create great content here for you guys. So like, comment, subscribe, and share this show with your friends. But it's time for First and Furious. All right. So this is from ESPN. Sources: Jets trade Jermaine Johnson to Titans for T'Vondre Sweat. All right. Jets and Titans agreed a rare player-for-player trade on Thursday, with New York sending pass rusher Jermaine Johnson to Tennessee for defensive tackle T'Vondre Sweat, sources told ESPN Adam Schefter. The trade can't be processed until the start of the league year on March 11th. The deal marks the latest move in a protracted teardown for once formidable defense for the Jets, who also traded away defensive star Sauce Gardner and Quentin Williams, both former first-round draft picks in November. 8 of the Jets' 11 first-round picks from 2015 to 2022 have been traded. Johnson acknowledged the trade in social media post later Thursday, saying, "New York will always hold a special place in my heart."
Well, listen, love notes. Listen, the bottom line is the Jets is from Jersey. We all know this. General manager Muhi for the Jets has been making moves left and right. Either you can call it a fire sale with the dump last year with Sauce Gardner and Quentin Williams. You could talk about this move now with Jermaine Johnson. I actually like this move. I believe Sweat is a big boy. I believe he's a nose tackle, right? I think he's 325 pounds. They need to clog. They're going to rebuild the defense. We'll see what happens there. But again, they need tons of work. This is a step, and a step, you know?
Yeah. I mean, you're going for, well, hold on. Give me a second. Who traded for you? So they needed to find a replacement for Quentin, because that was definitely a problem towards the end of the season. Yeah. Even though I'd still believe that the Jets defense was holding up pretty well in a lot of these games, just their offense just did not score points, and their secondary did not record an interception. No, they recorded one interception, right? One interception.
Yeah, and that was like towards the latter part.
It was like the last game of the season.
Exactly. They set a record. What do you got?
They did not get a single interception.
They didn't.
The New York Jets defense did not record a single interception all of last year.
Okay, because I know they returned something to the nest, and I think week 15, it might have been a fumble recovery. But this move might actually change the Jets from a 4-3 to a 3-4. I think they might actually do something like that dramatically. Knowing that Glenn's going to be gone at the end of the year, and by hiring what's his face over there from Indianapolis and Carolina, refresh my memory, offensive coordinator at the moment for the Jets, Frank Wright. He's going to wind up being the coach, I think. So, you know, the 3-4 might actually be implemented here for the Gangrene, which they actually was good when they made the run with Rex Ryan. It was a 3-4. You know, he put the Ravens defense there, you know, and played that 3-4 style, and they just frayed away from it. Got a whole bunch of young studs in the draft that turned out not to be good, or just not good here in this system. So we'll see what happens.
Well, shows you how up to date I am. I thought Frank Reich was still over at Stanford.
Yeah, no, he's OC of
the Jets. Okay. Now, the thing that kind of bothers me a little bit is just how much of an upgrade Travion or Sweat got sent to the Jets, right?
Correct. Big boy to the Jets and Jermaine Johnson to Tennessee.
Okay. You know Robert Saleh is a defensive-oriented head coach, and you just got one of the better defensive tackles and just sent them to Tennessee. I'm a Houston Texans fan. I don't like that trade.
Titans are sneaky.
I don't want Tennessee to be an even more unimpressive barrier to a consistent 2 wins every season.
Right. Mentioning Robert Saleh, you know, he had that great Super Bowl run, wound up getting the job as a Jets HC head coach, and it just didn't work out. But he's a great defensive coordinator. He winds up being now the head coach of the Titans, but is going to build a super defensive, like, orientated place. He's a good coach. He was just in the wrong spot. You know what I mean? Obviously, he was good in San Fran, and now we'll see what he does in Tennessee.
What part of Zach Wilson was never going to work did they not say in the first place?
Never. When your mom is dabbling on Instagram and she's getting more hits than you, bro, it's a wrap.
Whoops.
Nope.
Say it ain't so.
I don't want to go. Turn the lights off. Carry me home.
Now, really quickly, you don't really see a straight-up trade because of salary implications or situations on remaining years. So this is pretty odd as well. What do you think, AK? Who gets the win here in this trade?
So considering
Or
that
time will tell.
well, clearly both of these teams are rebuilding, and since they've made a trade both on the defensive line, it's clear where the issues were. Right, the issues for the Jets were up the middle. You know, when they played against, I think it was Buffalo
or New England with the two-headed backs.
Yeah. But when they played against Buffalo, like he went off on
Cook
them.
was just going, bro.
Yeah, he went off on them, and it was right up the middle, right up the middle. Every single that's why he had the 200-yard game, and then you've got and then of course on the Tennessee Titans, like their defense is pretty stout, but I think they were able to they had enough talent at defensive tackle to where they were able to make that trade and then bolster up the entire line instead. So I think I guess you could say it's a win for both 2-win teams or 3-win teams or whatnot.
I mean, if you could, and before we move on, could you pull up the Titans' rushing defense this year? Did they rank top 5? I mean, you never heard bad things.
Last year, right?
This season that just ended, correct? Yeah.
All right, so Titans finished with a poor rushing defense, ranked in the bottom tier of the league. They allowed 159.6 rushing yards a game, while other data suggests they allowed over 1,900 total yards, putting them among the worst in the NFL. Let's see, bottom 8 teams, and this is from Google. Let's see, defensive rush stats by team. Let's see, let's go to NFL.com. I'm going to pick this up right here.
Okay, Tennessee, according to ESPN.com, they allowed 114.6 rushing yards per game last season. Which
they were second worst.
Okay, which stats are you looking at then?
So this is rushing defense.
Okay. What stat are you using?
Let's see. So this is defense, and it's rushing defense.
Okay.
So I think that accounts for basically all the different sets. So attempts, rushing yards, yards per carry, touchdowns.
Go ahead and click on yards per carry.
Yards per carry. Let's see.
Mid-pack 4.4.
Yep, the 4.3 it says here.
Okay.
So that puts them right. I mean, basically snap dab. Well, not in the middle, but they're like 20th.
Well,
So the reason why I bring it up is because, at least here on ESPN, the yards per game allowed by Tennessee was 16th best.
Yeah, they don't give up the big run. They don't give up, They might, you might get 70 yards rushing that game.
Big runs, let's see, of 20 yards or more, they're middle of the pack. Yards, 40 or more, they were down towards the bottom.
So,
and then long.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you get it. So they need to bolster that up. The main thing is making sure that other teams don't just run out the clock on them.
Yeah, and as you can see with his numbers and where they rank in all these categories we just looked at, they just pretty much think that they got rid of their problem by trading the nose tackle, which can't tackle a nose.
Got it. All right, let's move on to another NFL story. That is Anthony Richardson.
Anthony Richardson, quarterback for the Indianapolis Colts, has received permission to seek a trade to leave Indianapolis. And this is a divorce that needs to happen. There are a lot of high hopes surrounding AR in Indianapolis, but I think it's time the Colts want to move on, and it might be nice for Anthony Richardson to get a change of scenery. Now, where should he go? The Minnesota Vikings. Kevin O'Connell is great at getting the most out of quarterbacks. And the Vikings are definitely looking for somebody to step into training camp and compete against 9 J.J. McCarthy. Considering the very high ceiling of Anthony Richardson, with the coaching of Kevin O'Connell, this could be a match made in football.
Well, obviously, we all know Navasa disagrees with that. I disagree.
I could not disagree with that more.
My guy who came up with that, and I know AK would definitely disagree with that. That's just crazy.
I mean, Kevin O'Connell is a great quarterback coach, but he's a great quarterback coach for quarterbacks that have a lot of experience.
Yeah.
Where they can walk in and be like, I understand what you're doing. Now let me put my, 2 cents in, create a couple audibles. We'll show you what to do in this defense versus that defense versus this coverage versus that, and he needs somebody to walk in to know the game of football.
Yeah, this kid, he's got a lot of problems. He's injury super prone. He's his head is just not there for like the
He's
love.
Bigger than Cam Newton.
Yo, bro, it's crazy. If I could see him going anywhere, I'm gonna just throw a dart at the board. I could see him being a Cleveland Brown.
No.
Nope. Shadur has got that for at least 2 years.
All right. Now
He's got it for 2 years.
Now the second,
because he's gonna put butts in the seats. That's why he's not going to Cleveland.
all right.
Now, I will say that there's a place that he can go where they can give him sort of like a 2-year shot.
Okay.
And you're probably going to be like, yeah, right. But there's a good opportunity that this could transform this team into a juggernaut, and that is the San Francisco 49ers.
Really?
Okay, you're higher than the marijuana in California.
Yo, well, this is a starting role, or is just I'm gonna just be like second string, third string on the roster?
No, I think he can give Brock Purdy a run for his money. Brock Purdy is vastly overpaid.
All right.
I'm sorry. He is vastly overpaid. And could you imagine Richardson and Christian McCaffrey in the same backfield?
I do. I mean, listen.
No.
Listen.
No.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. I want to hear this. Go ahead. Do tell.
You are, again, you got to be higher than the California kite out in the
Wow.
Bay.
Are we talking Snoop Dogg or Cheech and Chong? Which one?
They
Cheech
both
and
have
Chong got higher than
they
Snoop.
both combine to make a pot baby.
Well, listen.
No, the
Maybe
reason
one
why,
ugly ass baby.
the reason why you're high as a kite is because yes, the Kyle Shanahan system is very user friendly. It's very QB friendly. You don't have to be that big of a quarterback to go ahead and run the system. However, Brock Purdy still has genuine talent and finesse that Anthony Richardson simply does not have. And you're also assuming that Mac Jones gets traded off to everyone's favorite destination, the Minnesota Vikings, and becomes a fourth-string quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Mac Jones definitely proved to the 49ers, because he'd stepped in about 6 games this year, that he could hold it. And he's gotten better. He's got knee issues. I understand that. And he can't move. But he's super smart. You don't want to bring Anthony Richards to San Francisco, bro, and ruin that whole chemistry you got. San Francisco's really close, bro. They're like a win or two away. I mean, they missed McCaffrey for half the season. They still won the division. They lost the division to Seattle.
No, they were 1 win away from getting the first seed.
Yeah, dude. And they lost at home to Seattle, which was terrible of a loss. Last game of the season, I remember that. But let's bring it back to A-Rich. 2023 4th overall pick in the draft. Okay, he started 15 games. All right, that I don't like that. 11 touchdowns, 13 picks, injuries all the time, bro. All right, so if the Colts trade him, the Colts will release 5.3 on their cap, which is amazing. 5.4 dead money. If they do it before June 1st. He's going, bro. He gets a 4.2 bonus. He makes 1.1 a year. I can't see him being a starter anywhere except maybe 2 or 3 teams. I think he's a backup.
You know what I would do? I would just buy him out. Just buy him out. Just be like, go sign wherever you want. That's what I would.
He's owed 4. It's 1.1 a year. He's been there 3 years. That's only 3. It's not much. I mean, they could just drop him. He has an option, but the team would have to pick it up, and they're not, obviously. So
no, and especially what Danny Dimes did last year before he hurt himself.
Yeah, and they want to re-sign Danny Dimes, so that's the gist of it there.
Yeah, but do you see a pattern here of Colts quarterbacks getting destroyed?
Anything to do with the turf?
I don't know, because I mean, you can say the same thing about what's his name, Andrew Luck.
Yeah,
well.
Well, he had that hip. He had
the hip issue. He had the concussions. He had it was just
and
they didn't protect him. Now, if Andrew Luck had the offensive line that they had now, he would have won 3 Super Bowls already.
You can't make a Jeff Saturday anywhere. You know what I mean? Yep. And that was the guy that was protecting these Colts quarterbacks. He was protecting Manning. And then I think he might have protected Luck for 1 year and retired. And Luck just took a beating, man. He took a beating. I actually think he's a Division II college head coach, actually.
Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you what. Half of those were his fault because he would just
giddy up.
Yeah, he would just giddy up and be like, "Hey, I'm a linebacker." Pff, no, I'm not.
Yeah, Navas. He reminded me of a fast Drew Bledsoe. And we all know Crunch, what happened there. It started the GOAT process of Mr. Tom Brady.
Look. Why do you have to?
Drew Vick, Michael Bledsoe,
Michael Bledsoe will mix it all in one vial.
All I'm going to say is I think I found a team that could desperately use a 4th-string quarterback and that Anthony Richardson could actually develop under. And that's Detroit. Because their quarterbacks right now are Jared Goff, Kyle Allen, and CJ Beathard. That's it. At least according to NFL.com.
Give him $6 million or $12 million for 2 years, right? And just develop.
And Dan Campbell. Right? Well, Dan Campbell's also.
Well, let me ask you guys a question. Let's play a little game. If you guys had to marry one or divorce one, going forward, closest to win a Super Bowl or not, would you marry the Lions or divorce the Lions, or would you marry the Bills or divorce the Bills?
Really, bro?
I'm going to divorce both of them.
You're going to just chop them all up?
Bro, I'm going to divorce the Lions, and I'm going to ask for alimony from the Bills.
Alimony? I'm so on the divorce for the Lions. I think their window is super close, and I think it's actually got a couple nails in it, too. I don't even think they can open it.
This is where we're showing that, much like how Brady and Belichick proved that it was all Brady, little Belichick, between Ben Johnson, Aaron Glenn, and what's a Detroit
you guys
head
take
coach?
Over for a second.
What's the Detroit head coach? No, who's the
Dan Campbell.
Thank you, Dan Campbell. Between those three, when you lose the offensive coordinator in Ben Johnson, really damn good. I have to swallow my pride and say that Dan Campbell
as his first year as a head coach over the Bears, but I do agree he is a great OC.
Again, I have to swallow pride. Again, I have to swallow pride saying that freaking Caleb Williams is a damn good quarterback because he got a damn good head coach that knew how to offensively produce a sorry excuse of a USC quarterback.
Yeah, Caleb Williams, smart dude, bro. Loves the game of football. Is just going to get better and better every year. And yeah, like you lose Aaron Glenn to DC when he was on the Lions, now head coach of the Jets. You got to replace those nuggets that worked for you when you made it to the NFC Championship, when you made it to the Super Bowl and lost. And, they never really did that. And Dan Campbell, I think, really lost his mojo and started calling reckless plays. And we all know what happened. I mean, I think he threw away 2-3 field goals a game, and you see what happened. Yeah, and you see what happened.
Now, if you're going to go down this rabbit hole of the quarterbacks that should be traded, that shouldn't be traded, one of the interesting pieces I've heard was a player-for-player swap between Kyler Murray of the Cardinals.
Okay.
Welcome back.
When you gotta go, you gotta go.
I keep hearing these commercials for dude wipes on the radio. It's like, no. No.
When you're on the go, have a dude wipe.
Dude, I have like a bunch. Hey, Funk Master General is in the house.
Funky.
What is going on?
What's happening? What's happening? Roma Nation is happening.
Detroit. What's happening, fellas? That's right.
Yeah.
Oh.
D-Town.
I will speak ill will of
I will
speak ill will of Detroit, especially because Tariq Screwball is going ahead and skimping out on the World Baseball Classic. But that's neither here nor there.
Yeah. I think the Tigers got Javier Baez back, little magic man for the Tigers. So listen, you guys Detroit's cool right now, bro. They got the best team in the NBA, the Detroit Pistons.
I'll tell you this.
So
out of all the speculation that we've had this week, number one, if you're the GM of the Raiders, do you trade down your number one pick?
Do you want your house burnt down?
Why is my house going to burn down if I trade down?
Because you're going to trade the number one pick away from the Raiders. I mean, I think these fans would lose it. They're already making Mendoza jerseys, dude. If you actually throw a curveball and trade this pick, which would probably be to the Jets at number 2.
Maybe to the Cardinals.
Now, about the Cardinals, Kyle Murray, isn't he a free agent?
I don't think so. I think he's got 1 year left.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think he's got 1 year left.
He's on that year now. Okay. Because his name is always being popping up now for
oh, that's it. It was Kyler Murray and Tua as a player-for-player swap. Which to me makes no sense because it's two bad quarterbacks.
He has 2 years.
Two bad teams.
He has 2 years left on his 5-year, $230 million contract, which he's earned legitimately about 30 million of it.
Yeah.
Hey. In all due fairness, the other 200-ish million, that was earned in Kalapudi.
Listen, Kalapudi, Makanuti. Kyle Murray's got to be the shortest quarterback in the NFL this year, I believe, right? Height-wise.
Oh, yeah.
That's not helping you either.
Yeah, I mean, some people say that Baker's 6 feet tall, but I'm not buying it.
You can't talk about Baker. We all have a man crush on Baker. Leave him out of that. We all know the deal with him. He's got heart. But I mean, hey, listen, Detroit's got to snap out of it. You know, they really do. They have 2 great running backs. They have Armon St. Brown, who actually is really talking about maybe wanting to leave, which tells you telltale signs that, you know, it's not really Gucci over there.
Well, here's the thing. They're going to have to do it because he's going to be way too expensive in order to keep the running backs. I mean, look at what Jameson Williams did this past season. Yeah, he wasn't flashy every single game, but that's because Amon-Ra was on the field.
Exactly. And they needed Jameson Williams at one point for games, yeah.
Yeah, but Jameson has shown that he can be a burner. Like, you know how many touchdowns he caught over 50 yards where nobody was in 20 yards of him? Like, how does that happen?
He's got that mojo. Armon St. Brown is definitely probably the 3rd or 4th best receiver in the league behind Nakua and Jackson Smith-Njigba. I mean, give me another one better. You know, I mean, Chase and Jefferson stepped down a notch. I think St. Brown is that guy, number 3.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's solid.
He is. I mean, he had a bunch of touchdowns.
Yeah, he's good, bro. You know, and again, their offense was lackadaisical at best. They really relied on that running style, West Coast. Let me dump it down to these running backs because they're just good. Let them go. You know.
Okay. Yeah. So Gargi made it very poignant. Do I want my house to burn down? Okay. Do you trade Max Crosby?
I mean, you're really looking for the Grim Reaper to approach. This is a dangerous spot for the general manager of the Vegas Raiders. And if I was him, I would just draft this kid. Because now the pressure's off and the pressure's on Mendoza.
If
you don't draft him and you really mess this up and go to a different route, I don't know what to see out of this.
If it were me, I would bite the bullet. I would trade Crosby for 2 firsts and 2 thirds because that's the going rate that Micah Parsons got.
Mm-hmm.
I would also trade down to the number 3 pick up an offensive lineman. That way, Ashton Genty can get his development in alongside Brock Bowers. You get a 1-year or 2-year quarterback, i.e., Anthony Richardson. You pay him dirt cheap. You know you're gonna suck for 2026. And then you get your quarterback of the future in the next draft because that draft is stacked beyond stacked. And now you've got 3 first-round picks, 3 second-round picks, and 4 third-round picks.
For 2028?
For 2027.
They'll be loaded up for the next 5 years. I mean,
all right, where are we on the Max Crosby? Is there still any there? Where are we right now? Anything?
I would say it is fair to assume that the Raiders are getting many calls about Max Crosby. We heard what John Spytek said in this room. Expects Max to be back.
Yes.
Great relationship, texting and talking. We have not heard from Max Crosby since that session. Max has many ways on social media, on a podcast to potentially respond. But I would say the Raiders don't need to make calls. They will get calls on Max Crosby. Is there a world where Max Crosby gets traded in the next 7 to 10 days? I believe there is.
You do.
We're not there yet in terms of a deal actually getting done. But almost every player in the NFL has a price. Even setting aside the frustrations Max has had with the constant churn, being shut down at the end of last season, he's a 29-year-old star player who is still at his peak on a Raiders team that's probably going to be challenged over the next 1 to 2 years to really be competitive in a tough division. All of that, to me, tracks toward push this as far as you can, maximize your leverage by saying we're going to keep the guy here, see what type of calls you get. I'm not aware of the Raiders calling anyone. I do believe that they are getting calls, and I do believe there's a possibility of Max Crosby being traded sometime between now and the start of the league year.
Now, first thing I'm going to say, I'll tell you a team that we talked about a little bit earlier that could use his services that would make this defense unstoppable, and that would be the Cleveland Browns.
They got a pretty damn good defense too, bro.
You imagine Max Crosby and freaking the apartment complex of a human being on the other side of Myles Garrett on the same defense.
Mr. Sack leader. Yeah, that guy is definitely one of a kind.
No. I will give you an upgraded version of the Cleveland Browns. That being my Houston Texans.
Oh, you're looking for a J.J. Watt replacement.
Well, that too. But you put you put Max Crosby on one side, Will Anderson Jr. on the other.
They would have to give up though Hunter. They'd have to give up Hunter for that.
Well, my question.
There's no way you could pay all 4. Well, there's 4 guys in that defense. You got Stingley too. You got to remember that
Stingley's already been paid.
He has, but if you bring in Max Crosby and you don't trade anybody from your defense, you got 4 players. You got the inverse of the Cincinnati Bengals on offense.
That's what you have to look at. Yeah. My question is what teams actually have good collateral to even make the phone call to the Raiders for Crosby? And I would hope that the Giants would be one of them, because if he actually was on that line, OMG.
Bro, and get rid of what's his name.
Get rid of them all. Kayvon can go. He'll join Abdul Carter, and we'll be ready to rock and roll, bro. I mean, We got
there's a
Okereke.
problem.
We got players.
There's a problem. Guess which team has the 4th highest cap space already this year?
Hold on. Jacksonville Jaguars?
No, Jaguars are actually the 3rd worst.
Chicago.
They are $13 million over the cap.
Chicago.
Holy shit.
Nope, they are the 7th or 8th worst at only $4 million over the cap. No, it's the Chargers.
Yeah, but they don't need defensive line help. They need offensive line help.
Yeah,
that offensive line is in life support right now.
Yeah, Herbert got stretched off to the hospital after that one. I mean, we talked about it. Criminal. They definitely need to improve that O-line ASAP.
From a cap perspective, what actually kind of baffles me is Trey Hendrickson still Funk Master?
The Funk Master is back, and he's better than ever. He is in the house tonight. Thank you so much.
Is Trey Hendrickson still
Who's that?
Is he still
lady?
not signed with the Bengals?
No, he got that deal.
So he is locked down.
Yeah, it was towards the latter part of last season. That just ended.
Okay, so the Bengals still have a $53 million cap space this year.
That's incredible.
Somehow, in some way, the Bengals have $53 million to play with this year. So Trey Hendrickson on one side, Max Crosby on the other. Maybe? Who knows?
The question is, you got to remember the Cincinnati Bengals front office. They're very stingy. They're extremely stingy. Like if they're going to get Max Crosby, they're going to want to win the deal.
Yeah,
which is not going to happen.
Yeah,
right?
because I think their pockets are getting picked with Burrow and Chase right now, salary wise.
And what's his name?
Higgins. They just gave him an extension.
Yeah, like they've paid both Chase and Higgins over $200 million, and then Joe Burrow is going into his fourth out of fifth season of $275 million contract. I don't know how the hell they got $53 million of cap space, because there must be a whole bunch of other players, and on top of that, they have to pay Chase Brown.
You read my mind.
They have to pay him because he will be gone and he will go to a contender that has caps. Like, could you imagine Chase Brown on, say, I don't know,
I mean, you could stick him anywhere. Stick
Jeez,
him on Seattle because Kenny Walker's leaving.
Yeah, either that or put him on Denver. Or put him
on Denver, yeah. Put him in Tennessee.
You put him on Denver? Yeah, Tennessee, because what's his name? Who's the starter for Tennessee that used to play for the Cowboys?
What's his face over there?
He's not doing anything over there. They just need to cut their losses with him and try to go after Chase Brown.
Yeah, I'm drawing a
blank.
But
behind him is what? Man, I'm blanking on names right now. But Tajay Spears. Tajay Spears, like, I thought I drafted him this year because I thought he was going to overtake the number one position. But I think I think I was a year too early. Yeah. Tajay Spears is going to be that dude next year. He is.
Yeah, no, he's good. And that name we're looking for is Rico Dowdley.
Rico Dowdley. No, Rico Dowdle is on the Panthers.
Oh, he's on the he was the ex running back on the Cowboys that's now on Carolina.
Yeah. Jesus Christ. Now you
you
guys got to make me work.
Hey, you made us work. But no. Like, if the Raiders are going to keep Max Crosby, then they got to do a whole lot to satiate that amount of discontent. Because you know that Max Crosby wants to win a Super Bowl. You know damn well he's
Tony Pollard.
Talent. Thank you. But the fact that Max Crosby wants to win a Super Bowl, it's pretty much in the same Derek Carr position. So now you have to ask yourself, if you're the Raiders, do you sacrifice the popularity of Max Crosby to get 2 firsts and a second, or 2 firsts and 2/3? Because you know that's going to be the haul they're going to get.
Yeah, it's got to be multiple high picks.
Or do you take your chances and say that Clint Kubiak and Fernando Mendoza are going to be enough of an offense to go ahead and at least keep Max Crosby in for 1 more year? Because that's the give and take. Yeah. You already know what I would do as the Raiders. Do the fire sale, collect 4 first rounds, probably 2 second rounds, and 2 third rounds. Get your haul. That way you can go ahead and build up your O-line and your quarterback for 2026. Excuse me. That way you can have a better product on the field. Because you know darn well that 2026 draft class, not this one, not this year's, next year's, is going to be stacked on quarterbacks. So you have the pick of the litter.
Yeah.
This year, the only good quarterbacks that you're going to see are, of course, Mendoza, Ty Simpson, and Carson Beck.
Mm-hmm.
You already know that Carson Beck is a game manager, not a game changer.
Yep.
And Ty Simpson, kind of unproven, kind of, coming from Bama. And if anything, I may not be surprised to see that of all the problems that the Jets are going to do, the Jets are going to do the same freaking Jets moves they're known for beforehand. And I wouldn't be surprised if the Jets take Ty Simpson at number 2.
That's not a bad thought. But potential landing spot for Crosby, I mean, the NFC East is, please don't go to Dallas, please, whatever you do, because Dallas will give you whatever. They don't care about their future there. But, I could see him in a Redskin jersey. What happens if he's on Philly? Like, Philly's back. Like, I think the NFC East has a shot at this kid, but that's if they're ready to trade him.
Also, before we leave this topic, I have to give you guys a fun stat for this. Did you know that the Jets, the New York Jets, have a higher dead cap than their effective cap space? Their effective dead cap this year, or dead money, is $91 million. Their effective cap space is $75 million. They have more money sitting there doing nothing this year than they have the ability to actually spend.
Well, that's funny.
So then you can't really blame the coach then.
Well, no, you got to go right to the top.
Aaron Glenn and Robert Saleh are going to meet in Nashville and have a few drinks over how shitty their time was in New York.
Yeah, give the Titans a couple of years, man. They're building.
Well, that's why Brian Dable's also the OC instead of the head coach. Which, that's a little soft spot for you there.
There you
I
go.
don't want Dable to go.
But
all right. Let's go ahead. Go ahead. I'll let you finish up here.
No. I was going to make a segue, but you got me, bro.
Shoot it.
Well, speaking of shooting balls and whatnot, NBA.
That's not what I did. What the hell?
This guy looks like he farted.
We're technical professionals here.
Mentioned James Harden didn't play. Fractured the tip of his thumb last game against the Knicks. Shams Charania with what he's hearing relative to Harden's injury.
Look, James Harden has been evaluated by a hand specialist, and I'm told he plans to play through that fracture in his right thumb moving forward. No surgery is required, so he will be playing on. There's going to be a lot of managing of the pain through treatment over the next few days. He might sit tonight in Milwaukee to let that thumb calm down. He wants to play through this injury. He will be playing through this injury. Expect him to wear a wrap or a splint. He's played through an assortment of injuries throughout his NBA career. And now this fracture in his right thumb will be just another. But James Harden avoiding surgery. Okay. He will be playing on with this fracture in his right.
Okay. So, okay, so the first thing I want to say is, what do you think about that trade by Cleveland?
Well, it's funny you say that because they thought they was slick by trading an injured Darius Garland. Okay, and I'm thinking in my head, how are they going to pull this off? Harden's making double tag on Garland. You know, you got to absorb that. And you know, the owner there has a lot of money, and he still has that LeBron money from when they won the title. So he thinks he could get over on people. Let me tell you something. Like I said the last show and the show before that, James Harden will never win a title, bro. It doesn't matter. It's the basketball karma gods. Now he's hurt, unfortunately. And you know, I wouldn't play through that. I mean, this guy's it's out of control.
Fractured thumb, like he could take 2 weeks off and he'll be fine. And so will Cleveland. Yeah, Cleveland will go 500 during that time. But when he comes back, then he's rested, and his Triscuit hamstrings are rested up and ready to go.
Yeah,
Cleveland's going to be a tough team going into the playoffs. And but here's the thing: James Harden has never had another guy on his team.
If you think about it, no. I mean, I think he started at OKC when OKC was probably the worst team in the league. So he went off, and I think he went off to Houston, and he was just the man there. You know what I mean? And now he inserts himself into the bounce around role. Philly, Brooklyn, the Clippers. I mean, so Cleveland thought they were slick snagging some dude, trading an injured player, and now it's going to cost because Mobley's hurt too. So that's two stars out, and there you go. And you got to pay the guy still too.
Yeah, but he's never had a player like Mitchell since Durant.
No, you're right. Every team he was on, he was the man. Did he play a little bit with Kawhi when Kawhi was on the Clippers? They didn't even really play together too well mesh-wise.
They didn't until the team started to like.
And then Paul George was there, the mental case. So it wasn't a good area. That was his best core, and it still wasn't even close to being good.
Exactly, but in order to afford him, they had to trade away Garland. They had to. I mean, they're going to be eating a lot of the luxury cap starting next year. And how many years does he have left on his contract? James, let's James Harden contract. 2 years. So he's got a player option for 26-27.
Which he's going to exercise and opt in.
Yeah, which is $39.2 million.
Wow.
Right. He's going to opt in, or unless he wins a championship with Cleveland. If he wins a championship with Cleveland, they're going to have to sign him to a long-term deal. And if they don't, one of two things are going to happen before that. Either they're going to sign him to a long-term deal and have to get rid of Mitchell, or they're just going to have to let him walk.
Well, I mean, if you look at if you compare Harden to Mitchell, I mean, it's grandson. I mean, Harden's got to have at least 7 years on him. I think Harden's 34, 35, and Mitchell's like 26, 27. I mean, Mitchell is the future of the Cavs for at least the next 5 years.
Harden's 36.
He's old. Now he's getting hurt. He's slow. He's one-dimensional. He gets hot. He's good. He still could produce, but again, he ain't gonna win a title. He can go to the Lakers. He can go to Golden State. He could piggyback. I just really don't see it. And now how old is Mitchell?
Looking it up right now.
Check that. I mean, a 36-year-old Harden who now has a tear in his thumb.
29.
Look at that. I mean, that's 7. I called it 7 years of young basketball, and probably cheaper.
No, because if Mitchell were on the free market right now, he'd be going for a $350 million contract.
Over what? 6?
Over 5.
Over 5, which poses you at 75.
About $75 million.
That's where we're at right now. This is disgusting with these salaries. Wow.
Well, that's because the NBA's fucking bargaining agreement is every team gains about what 12 or 14 million dollars a year. So, like,
who's that? Grant Hill.
Grant Hill, dude, don't get me started with Grant Hill and the Magic, bro. That shit was.
I mean, he drank Sprite. I mean, I don't know.
He got to Orlando and his ankle all of a sudden just turned to a cloud of dust. I will never forgive him for that, because it could have been. It was going to be him. It was Tracy McGrady, Grant Hill, and who in Horace Grant, right? No,
because
Mike Miller.
Mike Miller from the Grizz.
Yeah, it was going to be Mike Miller, because the Magic drafted Mike Miller, so it was going to be those three. So you got 3, 6, 8 guys on the floor at the same time that could play the 2, 3, and 4. Didn't matter. And it was the first time that they had like that kind of superstar tandem.
Okay.
Like that, where if Tracy McGrady and Grant Hill were at full strength, Mike Miller would have been a 3-point specialist, because he would have been wide open every single time.
Yeah, I mean, great shooter, super tall, great defender, hustles when he's out there. Was Grant Hill the one who passed Christian Laettner that ball to win the NCAA championship at the buzzer?
Jeez. Man, you're forcing me to go back into the vault, dude.
I just wonder if he was the one who passed the inbounds pass. But anyway, no, you're right. So
that's crazy. All right, so we got one more segment left. It's the franchise file. Okay, so I'm gonna let you take this over, Garge, because we got some New York Yankee news.
New York Yanks, yeah. Awesome sauce. You got any videos, or you just want me to talk?
You talk first. I'll show the video, and then I will ride us into the sunset.
CC Sabathia, Hall of Fame voter, potential ballot to get in. The Yanks are going to retire his number, his jersey, and for you who know baseball or don't know baseball, the Yankees rarely retire numbers. So any number that is retired by the great New York Yankee franchise has to be a special player. And
that's because they've already retired half the numbers they can have.
Yankees were so dominant with the greats, and we could run down the list. But he's not going to get he's not going to get that tombstone that's out there that Mickey Mantle has, or Babe. But he's going to get a plaque. And he won two Cy Youngs, I believe. He won one in the National League. He won one in the American League. He won the World Series for us. He was the MVP. And he's a horse and a great player, bro. So congratulations to CC.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And so without further ado, let's take a look at his career, shall we? I hate this new setup with YouTube because it's not letting me do what I want to do.
First thing that pops in my head when I think of CC is a legend.
He's a legend in my eyes.
A legend, an ace throughout his whole career.
Swing and a miss. He got him. Strikeout number 3,000.
North Vallejo, Bay Area legend. Dominant.
CC's never looked better. Backdoor breaking ball and a beauty.
Bulldog. A big grizzly bear.
Tremendous warrior.
A warrior for sure.
Can I say nasty?
Got him. 12 strikeouts now for Sabathia.
He's tenacious, man.
Tough as nails.
Showing a little fire here. Garcia didn't want any of it.
Just a competitor. Ultimate competitor.
One of the best competitors I've ever had an opportunity to play with.
To first, in time! Yes! The Brewers win!
He pumped up. He's a pitcher that you want to have on your team.
No matter what, he's got your back.
CC don't play.
I mean, obviously a great pitcher.
Oh, he was electric. One of the most dominant left-handed pitchers of our time.
He struck him out. Yankees win 1-0. A 98-mile-an-hour fastball.
What get the emotion from the big fella.
A Hall of Fame caliber pitcher. A Hall of Famer.
First ballot Hall of Famer. He's one of the best players to ever play this game.
He has instant candy.
The ultimate teammate.
He's one of the best teammates that I ever had.
You teach me how to be me.
Like a mentor, big brother.
It was a blast to play with.
And that's why CC's teammates love him.
Lucky to have him.
You could ask 100 people that have played with him, played against him, come in contact with him, and I would say they all speak about how much they revere him.
He was one of the guys that I respected the most.
And CC was one of the best. He cared about his teammates. He was loose in the clubhouse. He never made excuses. He was accountable. He was responsible. I tell you what, I enjoyed his locker being right next to mine.
Catching CC was a highlight of my career.
Personally, he's one of my favorite guys I've ever gotten to catch. Just a good dude. I mean, there's no other way to put it.
The superstar that he is, to be able to get along with everyone, especially
I met
guys,
Prince Fielder
it's a big deal,
at Universal
especially if you wanna win
Studios.
team.
He's really
He
short.
always preached that to me and always, exemplified that, just by, how he treated me when I first got called up.
Make everybody feel comfortable. It's a whole different environment.
I'll give you the shirt off his back if you need it. And just a guy you want to be around.
If you're in that room with him, he's going to treat you like a brother. It doesn't matter if you're a rookie who just got called up or a guy who's got 10 or 15 years in the big leagues.
That's the type of teammate that you always want in your corner.
That's one thing I truly love about him is just his good energy. As big as a person he is on the field, off the field, I truly think he's a better person.
He tries to go in the inner cities and just try to let kids know that baseball is fun and that there's always a place for us in this game.
And he showed that you can come out and excel and be an ace, a black ace.
Black Aces is the most exclusive group, I think, in all of baseball. It just meant a lot to a lot of guys.
Not even just African American players in general that come from the inner city. Gives a lot of guys hope.
CC has always been there for me every step of the way in my big league career.
He's kind of paved the way. He's kind of put on for our culture since the time he got into the league.
I joke with him all the time. I always tell him, as far as the brothers go, he's our big papi. He's our Pedro Martinez.
When CC made his debut, they were playing the Orioles on a Sunday afternoon, and it's 3-0, 4 batters into the game. But what was so cool was that he buckled down, got out of that first inning, then 4 more shutout innings, and you could see even then as a 20-year-old the competitive fire that's marked the way CC has pitched. And 250-plus wins later, that kid's on his way to the Hall of Fame.
The thing that stands out for me about his first year was that, he went 17-5. He pitched 180 innings. I mean, what a stud.
What a performance by Sabathia tonight.
His name would never die in Cleveland.
September 2008, he put a whole team, put a whole city on his back.
Sabathia, a complete game. Raise a glass, Milwaukee.
He did some amazing things, heroic things.
What a performance on 3 days rest.
For me, I grew up watching him. I watched him on TV. I watched him dominate in the playoffs. I watched him sign with the New York Yankees.
The 09 season, obviously, when he just stepped up and kept carrying us on his back.
2009 was a big year for us, and he was a big part of that.
Worth every penny, CC Sabathia.
Everyone wants to talk about how dominated being a left-handed pitcher. CC dominated as being a pitcher in general. And, he was a guy that he proved himself not only in the regular season, but in the biggest games of the year, and that's in the postseason.
Struck him out swinging, breaking ball. And a big roar for CC Sabathia. He's an ace in every single possible way. The Yankees are back on top. World champions for the 27th time.
He's had an exceptional career. Not people will get to accomplish what CC's accomplished.
One of the greatest to ever grace that mound.
One of the greatest pitchers of our generation, one of the greatest competitors and winners of our generation. First ballot Hall of Famer.
Shoe-in Hall of Famer.
One of the best left-handed pitchers of all time.
And next up, CC Sabathia, the Hall of Fame.
Awesome. Hey, listen, for you who don't know more about CC, there was a season that the Yankees were making a run and he was battling alcoholism. So what he did was he took himself out of the whole team. Yeah. Took himself out, recovered, came back in the playoffs, dominated, lost about 100 and change in pounds in weight to get his health back. He's a leader. He's a great teammate, and he's also have the most awesome shoe collection I've ever seen in my life. You could see the shoes through his floor.
Yeah, he did, bro. I remember watching like a Sports Center thing about his closet of shoes. Holy crap.
Believe it or not, if you really think about it, he's one of the GOATs. So, yo, congrats to CC. Thank you guys. I love you guys. It's been fun. And what do you got, yo?
Navasa.
I had to actually go to MLB.com to see what CC Sabathia's actual stats were, and I thought he was with the Brewers for a lot longer than he was. Like, he was only with the Brewers for that 1 year.
Yeah, and they traded him, and he won the Cy Young.
Right place, right time, right circumstance. But to spend a decade in New York, to go be a pivotal part of the 2009 World Series Yankees, it's well-deserved, well-earned. Like Kershaw said, from one lefty to another, one of the greatest, period.
Absolutely.
And the man deserves his flowers, his accolades, his bust, and Cooperstown will be better with him.
Well said.
Oh, bar none. Bar none. Better than Anel DeMarco.
That's funny. All right, folks. Make sure you go to riseofmiddleamerica.com. That's where you can find us. Upper right-hand corner. That's where our shows are. Down at the bottom. Monetary contribution. Help us out. Have a good night, guys.